What's up, everybody? I know I haven't been showing my face on YouTube or any of this and that. Well, here lately I've been actually following a lot of stuff that's been going on with social networking, as in Facebook, Twitter, all this other stuff. All right, one of the big controversies right now is going on about the ARs, the AR rifle platform, and saying it's an assault rifle, this and that, and all of the mass shootings that have been going on. All right, so in this video, I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to actually share some light into actually what is wrong with people's mindsets. All right, so stick with me. Let's see how it goes. And before I get the video going, if you for some reason end up liking what you see on this video, go ahead, comment down below, hit that like button, and subscribe if you want to see more. All right, guys. So without further ado, let's get this video going. All right, guys. So here lately, a lot of people are actually saying that AR in AR-15 stands for assault rifle. It actually does not. Surprisingly enough, it actually stands for Armalite Rifle, which is the original company that made it. So it was Armalite Rifle Company, Model 15. All right, and so then people are like, oh well, then it's still an assault rifle. Actually, no, it is not, and this is why. There's 4 standards that have to be met to have a firearm met for it being an assault rifle. All right, and before I even get into this, there's actually only ever been 3 assault rifles. Technically, actually, ever speaking, there's only ever been 3. So, the number one thing that has to be made on the assault rifle is it has to have selective fire. All right, so if you're like, oh well, then what is selective fire? Selective fire, especially on the M16, there's a little switch that, if it's facing all the way down, it's on safety. If you flip it once, it's on semi-automatic. If you flip it all the way up, it's on 3-round burst. If you flip it all the way over, it's on full auto. So if people are like, oh well, then what does semi-automatic mean? Semi-automatic means for every time you pull the trigger, it's going to fire 1 round. All right. Now, if going off of that, if you're trying to figure out what 3-round burst is, for every time you pull the trigger, it's going to fire 3 rounds. All right. Now, then of course you know what full auto is, because full auto is what everybody is thinking that an AR is. Everybody's thinking, oh well, it's when you pull the trigger, it's no. That is actually correct. Why I say no, I don't know. But it's actually correct. When you pull the trigger and you hold the trigger down, it's going to fire every single round until the magazine is empty. Now, speaking of magazines, all right, this is another thing that makes an assault rifle an assault rifle. All right, it has to have ammunition that's supplied from a detachable magazine. So the AR-15 and the M16 have this in common, where the magazine, you can detach the magazine, refill it, and put it back in. All right. Now, the next thing is it has to have, it must have a intermediate power cartridge, more power than a pistol, but less than a standard rifle or battle rifle, such as the 7.92 by 33 millimeter Kurz, which, if I'm not mistaken, that is the German. Then you got the 7.62 by 39 millimeter, and then you got the 5.56 45 millimeter, which is the 5.56 223 NATO, which is what they use in the M16. All right. Then also it must have an effective range of 300 meters or 330 yards. All right. Now, if it does not match all 4 of those, it is not classified as an assault rifle. All right. I was talking to some people and they're like, well, when you say there's only 3 assault rifles, you're actually missing one. They're like, you're missing the M2, which was actually, the M2 was actually what was introduced to kind of counterbalance everything else that was going on. But the problem is the M2 carbine is not an assault rifle for the simple fact it only had a total range of 200 yards. It has to, remember, it has to have that effective range of 330 yards. So it was 130 yards off of being classified as an assault rifle, because it had every other thing that the M2 could do, everything else, except it did not have the effective range. All right, so if we go back, the AR-15, the Armalite rifle, all right, yes, it looks just like the M16, but it is not an assault rifle for the simple fact it does not have the selective fire mechanisms inside of it. So people saying, oh well, it's still an assault rifle. No, it's not. it could be classified as an assault weapon, and this is why I say that. Anything that's used to assault somebody is an assault weapon. All right. For instance, this pen. If I take it and stab somebody with it, it becomes a assault weapon because I assaulted somebody with it, which then this in turn would be by definition a weapon that was used to assault somebody, so assault weapon. All right. Just like if somebody runs somebody over with their car, the vehicle is an assault weapon. People are like, oh, well, how is that even possible? Well, you used it to assault somebody. It, by definition, is an assault weapon. All right. Now you know what the difference is between the M16 and the AR, but I did not tell you what the actual other two assault rifles are. All right, just so you guys have the list of the only three assault rifles. All right, the assault rifles. The first one was the SGT-44, which was produced in 1944 by the Germans during World War II. All right. Then in 1949, the Soviet Army, you know, they adopted the AK-47, which we all know, and you can go get a semi-automatic version of that. Just because it looks the part and sounds the part doesn't mean it's the actual part. All right, and then you got the M16. Now there's some variations of the M16, like the you know, the M4, which is you know, they adjusted the butt stock and everything on it. All right, which the military still uses. So those are the three original. You know, you're not going to be able to change anything of those three. All right. Now, if they come out with something else that, you know, meets all the statistics or, you know, all the standards for being an assault rifle, then, well, there you go. All right. So, here in a minute, we're going to start talking about, you know, the mass shootings that are going on. All right, guys. So, I'll be back and see you then. All right, guys. So, I do want to actually, before I start talking about this, I want to say, for everybody that's lost any friend or family member in all the mass shootings here lately, you have my deepest sympathy. All right. I am sorry that you're having to go through everything you're going through. And that is something that, you know, I would never wish upon anybody to have to go through. And I understand your frustration. I understand the idea of if the guns were banned, there would not be this situation. And that's what I want to talk about next. Right, guys. Last thing I want to touch on real quick is people always saying we need to ban firearms. We need to do this, we need to do that. Why? And they're gonna be like, well, because if we ban firearms, there will not be any more shootings. To the answer of that is wrong. There's always going to be firearms. Do you know how many firearms that are in this country that are unmarked to where there's no serial number, or if there is a serial number, it's been scratched off to where it is untraceable? There are so many firearms inside this country that are so untraceable that literally you can shoot somebody with it and they are highly able to just get rid of it and you will never know who did it. All right. That's one thing that is the problem to society now is, you know, you got people like me who legally own my firearms, so then you go to somebody down the street that has a firearm that they don't even legally own. They just buy it because it's untraceable. All right. So yes, you can make people not have firearms, but the black market's still gonna be there. All right, guys. Also, don't blame firearms for what people do. Just like you don't blame the car for somebody causing an accident, or you don't blame the car for when you get pulled over for speeding. I mean, there's just so many different things that people, you know, overlook. They're like, oh, well, it did this, so I'm gonna blame it. No, don't blame it. It's your ignorance. It's your misjudgment or miscalculations on what you are doing to make it to where you're in the situation you're in. All right. So don't look at it as, oh, I didn't do it. It did it. All right. Don't look at it like that, guys. But I'll talk with you guys a little bit later. All right, guys, I'm about to end the video here. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. I hope you guys are keeping your heads up no matter what's going on. I know this video was had a lot of information thrown at it. You know, I had a lot of, you know, different things. I know this video was not the typical type of video that I usually do. But I hope you guys are, as I said, staying blessed, keeping your head up. always smiling, no matter what's going on. I hope you smile. I hope you guys, no matter what you're going through, I hope it does get better, because without you guys, I mean, if you guys don't come around, how are you supposed to enjoy, life? That's one thing that I love about YouTube. There are so many people that come together on YouTube and actually enjoy, watching people and, sit back and, laughing at, the same jokes that people laugh at, So always keep your head up, keep smiling, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.